Today we're reviewing Chiliz, this altcoin project that I've had my eye on for some time now because they're really bringing in this mass adoption of global sports fan, especially in the soccer space, or as Europeans would say, football. I was recently in Kosovo, and they love their football, and it's absolutely incredible because you see this mass fan base, and they're really religious about this. They're so passionate about their sports fans. And one of the interesting things when you compare this with the U.S. or Canada is there's actual physical brick and mortar buildings still that people just hang out in, and there's just screens on all the time, and they're placing bets. And these are regular occurrence. For example, Serbia, I was in Albania, I was in Montenegro, all these kind of countries in the Balkans, Bosnia. You have North Macedonia. All of these different countries have this, and it really shows how much people love their sport teams and love gambling on it. And really, what Chili's does is they're innovating on this. So when I see something like this in kind of emerging markets, which I would consider the Balkan region and emerging markets, um, it's very interesting because in the US, you do not have that. Yes, you have casinos where people can bet on sports. Yes, you have digital platforms, things like MyBookie, or there's a bunch of other ones out there where essentially you can bet on outcomes of games. There's many different ways of breaking this down. You can bet on a ton of different things. But really, what Chili's is doing is having this actual app. And one of the things that I love is they're not just doing all these big promises and not following through. They actually have a functional application. We'll be talking about their exchange. We'll be showing you their blockchain explorer. While they currently are a bit centralized, the nice thing is they're very transparent in this blockchain space, showing you all the transactions going on, along with their CHZ token and their white paper. So this is really going to be a deep dive into this project. If you've been curious about Chili's, I think this will do quite well in April, but we'll just have to see how it turns out. So now that you kind of understand what's going on here and kind of how I view this, I do have to say I do not follow sports very closely. I'm very interested in just kind of the investment space as a whole, so that's why I enjoy doing this YouTube channel, and I kind of have fun doing these videos because for me, it's really not just cryptocurrencies. I'm fascinated with emerging markets, real estate, commodities, even things like bonds, more macro investments, alternative asset classes, stocks, really everything investing I'm interested in. But if I choose to watch a sports, I love USC because I grew up doing martial arts. Um, I'm a black belt in a Tung Soo Do. I love Muay Thai. I did a lot of boxing and yeah, a little bit of jujitsu, and I plan to do it for the rest of my life. So I do have to say, as far as when we look at each of these teams, don't get mad at me if I don't know the names of some of these logos here because I am not a big fan of. I just don't really spend a lot of my time watching these things. I mainly consume like educational stuff. So, anyways, let's get into this. The world's leading blockchain fintech provider for sports and entertainment. Chili's developed the Socios.com sports fan engagement platform, which is built on the Chili's blockchain infrastructure and uses the CHZ token as its exclusive on-platform currency. So that is huge. Having an on-platform currency is massive. You have to think about it like Binance, guys. So if you're in this crypto space, you're probably familiar with Binance. If you hold the token on their exchange, there's certain use cases. So you call this a utility token. It's the same with Chili's. It's not just you're holding this and it's, like Bitcoin, for example. There's not a ton of utility with Bitcoin. With things like Ethereum, this is technically, you could call this a governance token. In my opinion, it also has certain utility. There's a lot of tokens that have utility. Travala, this is a utility token. So I would call Chili's a utility token as well. So Chili's is a currency option for blockchain-backed products and services, goods geared towards mainstream customers. We want to elevate everyday experiences from fan engagement to in entertainment, alternative payment solutions for conventional products, and more. Chili's provides sports and entertainment entities with blockchain-based tools to help them engage and monetize their audience. So that is huge. They've partnered with FC Barcelona, and I know a lot of other ones. So it is basically the rocket fuel for socios, press coverage, blah blah blah. But let's actually go into their exchange now. This is their actual platform, and I love seeing this. So many projects are promising big things, but then they don't actually follow through. They actually have a working site. You can actually everything we talk about here, all of these links will be linked down below in the description. Make sure you're on the official Chiliz.net. You're not on some like scam website. If you just search in your browser, Chiliz, CHIL, oh, whoops, sorry about that. CHIL, what is it? CHILIZ. sometimes these like scammy websites pop up. So make sure you can either find it exactly this yourself or just use the links in the description. Those are all legit. It's literally copy and pasted from each of these tabs. So go check those out. And yeah, so let's kind of dig through this. So this is their platform right here. You can log in and register. You can kind of see the world's first tokenized sports and entertainment exchange. One of the reasons I personally think this is huge, as I was saying in the beginning, is because you have these huge fans of sports teams, from ages, from someone that's 5 years old, someone that's wearing like a FC Barcelona jersey, to someone that's 85 years old. It really spans everyone, and the majority of these people are not familiar with cryptocurrency and are not currently using it. Maybe they've heard of Bitcoin, maybe they've heard of Ethereum, but they don't actually hold it. They have no idea what altcoins are. They have no idea what DeFi is. They have no idea what this Chiliz thing is. But this is a way where even if they can use it without knowing about cryptocurrency, but in turn kind of get turned on to, oh, this is very interesting. Maybe I'm, instead of gambling with, for example, in Serbia you have the dinar, the currency, or in Albania, these different currencies. Instead of using those to bet with, or North Macedonia, you have, I'm trying to remember, I think it's the mark, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, that's in Bosnia. My bad. Too many currencies I've used over the past couple of years. But yeah. So, anyways, instead of using these currencies that are being devalued over time due to inflation, rather you can use something that is on the blockchain where you can see all the transactions. You don't have to rely on a central bank, and they get kind of introduced of the beauty of the blockchain technology. And yeah, so you can see kind of everything here, different trading pairs. This is their exchange. So the FTO, I think, is quite interesting, the fan token offering. So again, like I don't know these names. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but I think this is very interesting, guys. These FTOs. Yeah. So again, I'm not familiar with the team, so I can't comment on this, but I love these offering things. So we talk a lot about initial projects offering like IPOs. In the stock market, and then you have ICOs in the crypto space, so initial coin offerings. And with this, I talk a lot about launch pads, so things like Polkastarter, things like TrustSwap, things like Dime, Binance Smart Chain Pad, essentially allow you to get in early as a private investor would in the stock market. So it allows you to invest kind of in like a private company if you're comparing it with the traditional markets. For example, I like to use the case, anybody can invest in Tesla, Elon Musk's electric car company, but if you want to invest in a SpaceX company or Neuralink, companies that I find even more interesting than Tesla, to be honest, or the Boring Company, you have to be a private investor. So that's kind of a way you can think about getting into those. Just check out my channel. I have playlists on all these different things. So if you're interested in getting in early on in crypto projects, yeah, definitely check out like TrustSwap, Polkastarter, Dime, all these different ones. So yeah, so this is their Explorer, as I was talking about, kind of keeping everything transparent. There's not much to say here, but essentially you can see like 14 minutes ago, all these transactions happening, all these block times, and yeah, good to see. So on the white paper, this is just a basic overview. They kind of talk about, the market, traditional sports, shareholders, private placement. So they say, traditional sports, the largest entertainment industry global, with a market size topping 620 billion. Wow, that's interesting. I did not know that. And as early as 2011, and net revenues topping 90 billion in 2017. That's fascinating. Wow. Yeah, I mean, guys, this is a massive market. Again, let me know if you're a big sports fan. What's your favorite sports team in the description. I apologize that I'm not like a diehard certain sports fans. I do like the UFC, like I said, I do like boxing, but I grew up, I guess, watching like football and basketball, but just never really was too interested in it. Okay, so let's see. I was gonna show you if they had. It's okay. I think that's pretty much it for the project. We can do a deep dive into the white paper if you guys want. Just let me know in the comments down below. I'd be happy to do a part two, but let's move on to the CHZ token. What's most important, this utility token. So about 50,000 people like this. We're sitting right around 51 cents currently. It's done a nice 10x from its kind of solid level at a 5 cents. Market cap is around $2.6 billion. Trading volume is around a little bit over $500,000. Scroll down a bit. Yeah, so it was, and the reason that I'm covering this right now is look at this opportunity. I mean, this is something where you can see this price consolidation in April. These coins are going to pop off. So look at this 80. It was up here 80%, and this was just a start. This was just a little start, Jack. I mean, we're going to pop off here. This thing was, you see how it's, or actually, my bad. It was actually this key level right here was around, yeah, point 0. What was it? yeah, around 1 cent was kind of, it was hovering on for the longest time, and man, it just had that explosive parabolic move upwards. Yeah, so congratulations to anyone who's been in this project for a while. I think it's quite interesting. Again, I'm not super into the, like, I guess traditional sports like football, soccer, basketball stuff. I'm not saying I don't enjoy going to I love going to live games, but I just don't personally like spend my free time doing those things. So let me know in the comments what you think about this project, Chiliz CHZ. If you hold the token, what your price targets are. I think this thing can easily be a $10 billion market cap project in this bull run. So I'm looking for about I would say about a 4x from here. So right around $2 is what I would say. But yeah, let me know down below what you think about this. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel to stay up to date, hit the notification bell because it's time sensitive content. You don't want to be watching this when it's already done another 2x, maybe another 4x, maybe a 5x, maybe even a 10x. Who knows? Maybe we could see a $5 Chiliz. Let me know what you think down below. Hit that notification bell though so you make sure you're staying up to date. As always, invest global, and until next time.